Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just welcome. 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 Wel Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics.
What it do, what it is, 8-minute pre-roll. Sorry guys, mad late. You have no idea how how tedious it's getting to get these pieces of work art and keep our themes in place. So, new world. Yes, motherfuckers, that's what it translates to, you non-chat GPT using fools. New world, right? After a first strike, you have a vision of a new world. And you get rid of all your fucking enemies and you start from scratch and, we begin again. Because that's cycle things, right? That's what happens in the world. So, I just clicked that open, check this out. If you want to know where peace talks are happening, check out the events in Moscow and Beijing. When have you ever heard peace talks in Moscow and Beijing in the same sentence in all of your lives? And surrounded by Iran, who's now working it out with Saudi. And the people that you see sitting at the peace table has never been a thing in all of your life. Not in all of my life, right? As far as the propaganda machine of the West goes, the Middle East, Russia have been warmongers. China has been trying to override Taiwan. And North Korea is fucking a monstrosity. Like, everybody on the planet is monstrous but us. And you now have every single one of the people that we've condemned all shaking hands together. You really don't have anyone to sell this story to, The BRICS General Summit in South Africa in August, yeah, that's going to be all eyes on that. Like I said, you have more than half of the going concern of the world and the bulk of the nuclear arsenal of the world, all sitting down to have a meeting that doesn't have a chair at the table for the United States. They have literally cut us out of the world right overnight. Seemingly, like, as sleepy as Joe Biden was on the balloons, is almost as sleepy as it seems like NATO's reaction to this development is. It's come out of literally fucking nowhere, boom, like that. But not really out of nowhere, right? We could kind of see this coming. So it's kind of like a crazy thing to watch it just unfold here in 2020. But like the telltale signs of this shit, were very much out there when we talked about footprint of bias, and that this is something the world wouldn't fucking stand for, right? If you guys read the blogs, I don't know if it's going to open faster or not. Sometimes when show it opens quickly, sometimes it does this. What's it doing? I'm not going to try to screen share if it gets stuck. I don't know why it does that. Is it even going? Alright, I'll just let it see what those. But yeah, it's a crazy situation to watch for everybody in NATO, because the West media is keeping it kind of quiet that this level of coordination is actually occurring. You see these news bits, but they're not putting any major emphasis on the fact that like everybody that we've been basically tinkering with and meddling with their economies have all fucking cooperated now, and it's really a new world. So, good afternoon, Kivo. Trump's arrest gets all the eyes. Right, and Trump has just been a media darling, right? When you want to fucking make people not pay attention, just say Trump. The guy's arrest doesn't look like any other person in fucking history's arrest, right? No handcuffs, no mugshots. None of what happens to any of us for breaking the law. And so, like, it's just a dog and pony show. If you even look at him, he should probably be a little bit more pissed off because he's being humiliated. But he's getting to walk through this like fucking, like, man of honor. So arrest means little when you don't fucking go to Gen Pop and you don't fucking, get sit in a holding cell or any of that shit. You can just fucking, you don't have to eat the shitty sandwiches, none of that stuff, right? You get to fucking walk through in your suit with a fucking motorcade. The fuck kind of arrest is that? Like, been waiting fucking years for this shit, and that's what you do with it? Like, dude, fuck that. And the U.S. continues to demonstrate that they have like different rules for different people. It's just it's something that everybody's sick of seeing put on display to this degree. And don't get me wrong, it's not that there's corruption in all the other countries. It's just that they're open about it. They'll admit they fucking play special interests. The U.S. pretends to be fair and does the most egregious shit, right in your faces. So if you guys have never actually read this blog post, glad it opened finally. The footprint of bias, right? This is an OG article I wrote that, it's OG now by today's standards. When did I write this stupid thing? Let's see. Where is the date? I don't know, I think it's 2018. Anyways, this guy is letting you understand what's leading to BRICS, right? That the whole world has a different set of rules for NATO. Let's just call this NATO, right? Because NATO doesn't include guys like me. We just fucking live here. But we're the working class as far as they're concerned, right? We're the animals, right? NATO controls everybody that doesn't look like them. And that's the game, NATO is really a hellspawn from fucking, the Euro domination that fucking created this thing where algorithms pick up on the only person that's successful in the entire world are Caucasian males. There are 3 billion people in BRICS that don't identify with this conditioning that the entire planet received to allow every fucking person from here to Korea to think that a cute baby only looks like one race in the entire fucking planet. That's less than 700 million of the fucking... Actually, NATO is 700 million people. I believe Caucasians are slightly less than that in the world. But the conditioning to change the entire planet into white worship has fucking... The pendulum has swung, right? Everyone is sick of this shit. No one wants to be governed by people who think like this about us. And that's what's really happened. The Obama pump was your big tell. Stick a black guy in the White House, and the U.S. fucking citizenry rearms over it. You want that guy telling you how to deal with your affairs in the Middle East? At the end of the day, putting this on display in America was something that Americans didn't really think the whole world was staring at and going, oh my fucking God, you're like this still today? And this generated the hate, as much hate as they had to buy these fucking guns because... what does they take America back from whom, right? From the animals. And calling us animals in our fucking faces while the human population is booming while fucking a black guy is saving your country was not your best move. You market this shit, you blame the world for them, and you know what? Fuck it. Let's try the Chinese. Anything's better than this shit. And so this is why I talked about this, right? This game of fucking constantly scapegoating every other fucking race and damaging every other country has finally come back home to fucking hurt America. Media exploits ingrained institutional bigotry in USA to blame incoming black president of crashing USD and stock market, misdirects entire country from both bull markets. The only reason they could do this is because of the level of conditioning that's going on in this country to allow you to fucking say fucking the Arabs are bad, the blacks are stupid, the fucking Chinese are this, and this conditioning that they pumped out, the world's cornered with it. But that same engine that you've got fucking cooking the entire planet is not available to warn your own people that the entire planet fucking got the memo and they got together and said, go fuck yourself. So you are in a new world, This is me online telling you fucking where markets are going. This is the kind of shit I had to deal with before they were able to delete my main account. This is me telling you footprint is going to be a problem, and what's happening to China and Russia is coming because I'm a member of the population that's being tortured by these people, right? And this is a Puerto Rican guy literally telling me, I was like, I wonder if I went to Zach because he was clean-cut looking white dude. Just always getting the shitty end of the stick because you fucking don't look like fucking the ruling class. Well, fuck you, ruling class. Go fuck yourselves. We'll fucking just set up camp somewhere else. And you're asking, go fucking fry. This is BRICS. This is what's causing fucking what you're seeing. And every one of us could tell you, but because the conditioning is that we're too stupid to tell you anything, we can't even warn you. That's how I do this show. Most people watching the show think I'm an animal. They won't listen to me either. I don't look like the guy who's tell where the stock market's going, right? Because the conditioning for that is so fucking strong. One of the things I told you in this article that was pretty amazing, right? Think about it. I own the two greatest market calls fucking in history. The greatest market call in all of history. If the television told you the exact same shit, you would believe it. That also means the problem isn't actually the TV or MSM. It's you. It's your simple ass. When you outtime Warren Buffett and the rest of the world in the biggest crash in recorded history and they still pretend you don't exist, you ain't gonna pretend BRICS don't exist, motherfucker. We'll write our own goddamn headlines now. This little media machine to make sure fucking you can change who's allowed to speak, it's run its course. So you are in a new world. Memos and things, right? Everyone's sick of it. Well, that's the thing. The term Kiki, the term minority is hilarious. We're not the minority. On a planetary scale, they're the minority. They've just been selling that so long that we call ourselves minority. Do you know how I'm half Indian? Do you know who the majority on the fucking planet is? It's my people. No one thinks like that. The greatest, most populous people on the face of Earth is actually, I believe, India past China. And then China's number 2. How in the fuck are we being called minorities? That's crazy. Anyways. Fuck around and find out, bitches. Fuck around and find out. So, I think that's going to be the last in the glitch art series and Latin stories. So if you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it with the market. So we're focusing on energy now while we're talking about this new world and focusing on the dollar that's being attacked through energy on the back of this, right? So remember, through the wire, you guys have to pay attention to the people. And Void, you have to pay attention to the fucking people, right? With an unbreakable spirit. When everybody's not paying attention, you pay attention. Markets are trying to tell us something. And from the ashes, right, we got our pump. And fucking crypto right now, ETH's over through 1900, so you guys keep your eyes on that. And now we come to the first strike of BRICS versus NATO. And now we look at the new world that unfolds in front of us. And yes, we're looking at energy with this in mind. So, message of the markets in many more ways than one. So I hope you guys like the innovations we're trying to do with the artwork and storytelling and actually keeping up with it. I'm going to explain it since I don't want you guys to miss the point because, it took a lot of work to create these. What did you guys think of today's showpiece? A little more tedious to make than it actually came out, believe it or not. So that is the discovery of the new world after the first strike, right? When he slams the ground, what he finds after he comes up and he's cleared all of the fucking people is a new world. So that's the story of those cells. Hope you guys dig it. So it was a lot of fun making those. And really crazy. Appreciate Petch for helping me with setting up the set. So a little tedious. Anyways, fun stuff. So it's a short show because I'm a jackass and it takes me forever to get shit done. Can't read any fucking war stories. If you got one, I have to check it next time. Gonna go ahead and just get us a broad view of things and try to get us out of here as close to the bell as is humanly possible. So let's see. This is BTC. Uno momento. So crypto things first and foremost, because you know you guys are crypto zealots. I'm about to do it. You can yell at me for the screen. It's all good. I do that all the time. So BTC, we're paying attention to do this last bull fagging for you guys. Keep watch, right? We're staring at this guy. He's got good strength. BTC that I told you is probably not what we want to watch here go through. We want to see some cryptos lead, to show real risk-seeking activity, and this is good. We've got ETH leading into the range we're waiting for. So this is a high emotional area from August last year, where we had the Trolex attack on us and stuff like that, and they started to fucking try to smear me with some racist shit. And ultimately, that emotional point was the high of Clonex. Somebody asked, should I still get involved in Artifact? Artifact's definitely got some issues. Prices down in the grave, and I'd like to think that whatever these founders do next would try to save it, since they're such jackasses bungling it. They better come with a haymaker out of the monolith to pump it or something. Prices are pretty depressed with what Blur is doing, but the market's all overall depressed with what Artifact has delivered. So paying attention to that right now, I think you're watching to see what they do with the very next reveal with their Animus or monolith. It's pretty cheap, but they've diluted the market with a lot of products, and they've delivered pretty poorly, and they've lost a great deal of the community support. So it's as bearish as it could be. It's probably worth paying attention for a rotation, but I'm not putting a dime into it. They have to bring something to the table. As far as I'm concerned, I use my clone for my own branding purposes, and I don't give that much of a shit about them. I think they really dropped the ball on the delivery. Is it savable? Possibly. Do they have the capital to do it? Totally. But I think I'm going to be patient to see what they do with the monolith or anything else. And Ron Sickle asked, do you think Bed Bath & Beyond survives as a company? Are we asking about fucking like the, is that one of the pump things from, what's it called? Wall Street Bets? I think things like this, you never waste your time thinking about. The amount of shit we put in here that's bull market, to waste your time on something like this and with these speculative things, I mean, it's a gamble on pink sheet garbage tied to some fucking, what's heading to the pink sheets, tied to Wall Street Bets. Play strength. We never focus on things like this, never ever. That's not important. Who gives a fuck? So anyways, yeah, so looking at strength in ETH, pumping into this range, we like to get it shockwave in this range because it's a decent emotional range here. And I think your next area you're watching on this guy is probably like 2220s or something like that if he gets through it. So, something like that, like right there. I'll make him. You guys love orange, you fuckers. There you go. 2220, something like that. If he gets through that emotional range, I think it's the next place you're paying attention to. So it's pretty good to see some strength there. Somebody had asked about Matic. I'm gonna try to incorporate some of your symbols into this macro just to kind of save time. So just looking at Matic, you guys remember you have a cheat sheet inside of Only Stands inside of Discord for all the acolytes, and this guy was like, hopefully one you guys played on January 24th, pumping out. He's corrected, he's tagged the system trigger, so that's really good. He's supported on it. So for now, we could take this uptrend angle, whoops, and we could move him over like so, and he's really tracking that kind of trend wave out, right? So as long as he maintains that, we've got a couple versions in that, like BTC's got a trend angle we're watching, and then we could actually put one on ETH if we wanted to also. So for right now, it looks like broadly like crypto's got some good strength behind it. Looking at total, if you guys are watching total right now, this guy's at a good old level that we had in here. That was a breakdown trigger level we gave you for the summer lows and stuff like that. Put like real weakness into the market. So if he gets back through here, this would be something with BTC dominance, not picking up too much strength, that would be pretty bullish for like other shitcoins. I know there's been strength in AI coins. DeFi coins have been really weak with the stablecoin issue, but broadly speaking, crypto looks pretty strong with this. So if you check USDT.D, We want to look at this guy. We looked at him bear flagging against this. This was the last time. This is when basically ETH first stalled in his range. If this guy can continue to roll off of here, we look for the next trigger to fail down on the very lows here at 6.61. If that happens, that would be tied to total pushing and a pretty decent shitcoin move to the upside. So keeping eyes on all these things all at once. You guys know how that works. VIX things. VIX is still staying in that range that's dangerous for the market to stall. So we did stall in the Qs a little bit, and we had our first pullback in 4 days. So if you guys pay attention to that warning, told you keep an eye on this. This would be a good tell on what the fuck's next. Also, let's see. Also, you guys were able to catch that industrial warning on that show, right? And catch that tide. That was on the Monday show. So if you guys paid real good attention to that, you were able to actually rotate away from the Qs and actually rotate towards the Dow, which actually became really, really strong since the Monday show. We gave you that on this morning. So that was a pretty tactical call if you guys had paid attention to that. Hopefully you guys were able to capitalize on, what we told you about that. So now we just want to broadly watch and see what we're getting, here going into the session. AS100. This is kind of ugly. If we get fucking like underneath these lows, we could pull back into like a deeper corrector structure. So just looking at this right here, I talked about the Qs yesterday. Crossman noted that my angle was slightly off on the top of the Qs because I had a drawing that fucked me up where I drew it. So I drew the correct exact geometry of this. You're likely flagging above this area we broke out from and still on your way towards the angle. So first I thought the angle was pretty close, but it's actually quite far. And that makes more sense with guys like Apple, who are also like quite far from a properly drawn angle, which this is not. I believe I have it on this chart, properly drawn. Yeah, Apple has distance to go still to tag his long-term angle also. So I think that actually lends to just a smaller correction and a chance for both these guys to at least try and test it out. So since Apple's not reached it and the Qs haven't reached it, I think we look at this as like, there's a possible corrective flag. Market needs a good chill from where it was. I'll just put this guy on 30. So if he gaps down a little bit, where's our pre-market? This is, we're open. So I'll just prep you guys in here. Fuck it. You're watching this. This is what I'll be watching today. If you can rotate that and go bullish again, that's your flag resolution you're watching right now. Diamonds, let's see what these guys look like on the open. Diamonds, QQQs. Pop on the open, if this sustains, you're looking for like industrials to carry it. So right now you're starting off with weak Qs, and unless this fades, it'll probably be industrials that carry it again. So still watching guys like Mickey D's, right? Put that guy into OnlyFans for you guys also. And it's just stuff that no one's really watching that has crazy strength, right? You're opening up with some industrial things that have strength right off the bell. Had this guy up for you to see the pre-market, right? Tech wasn't looking so good on the opening. It looks like, we have some interesting things going on in healthcare and in health services. And if you see XLV strong and he's in the Dow, he's kind of a hint that there's some Dow strength there. So for right now, the way that open looks like shit. And then if we open up for this today, just look at what's going on. We'll just do a live show in here. What the fuck? Fuck it. So right now, energy's down on the opening as we speak. Some producers are down. So it's kind of a shitty opening. This is probably a local story. If you guys remember Nike, I hope you guys kept that guy on your radar because Nike's still doing his thing. All right, so Nike looks pretty good. And still doing, hey, good squiggle, huh? You did that squiggle from back here. Looks about right. So Nike's probably worth, as far as like one of the major brands in the S&P 500 big cap retail guy. Him, Mickey D's, those guys. Some of the guys I'm watching broadly to kind of tell us, are we still rotating this bull flag off of the shooting cluster support? And I think we still are. If you look at these guys and back out a little bit, these guys do look pretty good. Shout out to everybody who was able to play the QQQs on high resolutions across the last 2 weeks and get a really good rip out of it. That's something I want to see more people, learning to do and getting away from crackhead resolutions is taking your time to allow these things to develop. Even right now while we're in session, right? I know what I'm looking for. If this is going to continue this resolutions wave, I'm waiting for this guy to give me something to plan to play into. So you can give it a minute, right? Even right now, I don't have to panic to get off because I know this thing's not fucking ready. So, unless you're crackheading out, you don't have to really run for anything right now. This needs a second. You've got fair amount of volume in here. If we break down, we're probably heading down to test this shockwave or probably test where we broke out from. If this resolution doesn't turn right here and we're not just pulling back slightly. So anyways, I did want to take a look at oil because the show is about the energy attack. And I think this guy is in a resolution that people also need to be patient with as this begins a rotation on what is a very, very monstrous bull flag. And if we draw this guy's angles correctly, right, and he's going to rotate this angle, he has time to like set up, churn a little bit, and go. And we should be keeping track of all the guys tied to him. You know, Exxons and stuff, I think, are telling us something right now. And what BRICS is doing, they're not going to back off. This is a do or die thing, like I said, for Xi and Putin. They're going to take the dollar out and take the U.S. out. This attack is now. So pay attention to the USD. Been watching this guy, and we talked about this. You know, there's been continuing strength in here. He could just keep on pushing. GBP has recovered while no one's really talking about this. And the dollar broadly is getting smacked there, but he's getting smacked, across the whole world right now. So there's a lot of pressure on the dollar. Let's check the USD ZAR. Yeah, even weakness against this. I mean, South African currency is weak as fuck, and even everything is showing in BRICS is showing strength against the U.S. dollar near term. So I think currencies, you're in a currency war, and currency trading is actually very much out of vogue, like I've seen online. I think it's time, if you actually have the ability to trade currencies, take a look at them. Most people aren't looking at these things, and on bigger resolutions, right, there's some solid tides that are going on in the fucking U.S. dollar right now that no one's really looking at. Not that one, but in looking at things like this, let me turn this off. Not that res, none of you trade in that res. But like I'm saying, you've got a daily fucking uptrend going on since November in the euro versus the dollar, right? That is a pretty stable, decent high res trend. And if he's beginning the next leg of it, I think it's worth putting on your radars, right? So let's see how far BRICS can take this. Pretty stable range. And North America as a whole sucks. GBP, CAD, if you look at them, North America as a basket, it looks bullish as a like think about it like we talk about stocks and sectors, right? The North American basket versus the European basket looks like it's in fucking trouble. So looking at this right here, even with Canada, with possible oil strength, Canada's just been getting fucking just plowed since last year. So this trend has a serious chance of continuing. That's a very bullish setup that you've got right now. On this, we've drawn this guy out for you, and this was a key level to pay attention to. So as a basket, North America is highly correlated, and the USD that had been best of breed has moved to be not best of breed. Even Mexico has now become the best of breed of North America. So the DXY is definitely in deep shit. So this is worth paying attention to as we see if BRICS can push us into the new world. I think that's gonna close it out for us. Hopefully that gives you guys a little perspective heading into the market. Never FOMO, be patient, stop trading in crackhead resolutions, and let the market come to you. If you make a good plan, remember how long it could take. We were playing a 30-minute bull flag on the Qs. It took 2 fucking weeks to make 1 to 2 good trades that lasted for the time period. So, less is more. Be patient, be selective. All right, motherfuckers. Sorry for the late show. Hopefully I gave you guys a little extra alpha to help you think about. I got Exxon on there to check out. I am not going to be able to go through all of those. I went through Matic on there also, so hopefully you guys pay attention to that. I had mentioned in earlier shows that you guys should be paying attention to some gold names, and one of those was Newmont. So if you guys had paid attention before, we actually told you to pay attention to precious metal guys out there. WPM was one of those guys also, right? So let's look at there, WPM. What did I do the fucking chart for that guy? I have no idea. WPM, an AGI, I think is another good gold stock. Check this guy out, right? These guys are fucking moon. So we talked about gold before, and we in Golden Child mentioned some stuff in there, and actually mentioned some of these guys before. We told you gold itself had been quite strong. So if gold continues to be as strong as he's being right now, sorry. Where is my fucking chart for this thing? GLD. God damn it. There's GLD. Remember? You guys pay attention to your triggers on this? So I told you to pay attention. That actually just went out there. Is that yesterday? That last trigger blew on yesterday's session. So if you guys have been paying attention to this chart right now, this is definitely stay all eyes on precious metals. We're seeing a push in commodities across the board, right? If we've seen agricultural commodities strengthen up, we're seeing precious metals strengthen up, non-precious strengthen up. This may be a broad-based, commodity move, because that ultimately is the BRICS trade. The BRICS trade is actual assets versus the credit system. So as they attack the DXY, we should be seeing fucking commodities across the board show strength, and we are seeing that. So this is, an all hands on deck kind of thing. All right, players. That's enough fucking nerdy stuff for you guys. Hopefully you got all that. Ape USD, you know, believe it or not, I did pull that up for somebody. So I'll throw you that one. Ape USD real quick on the end of this. He kind of looks like shit. He's not been one of the cryptos that kind of looks like the strength you're seeing, you know, in ETH and stuff like that. As always, I know that a lot of people are waiting to see what to do with other deed and stuff, but be careful of like news driven, you know, markets like this. This guy's really fucking like got a lot of supply. And unless they have some crazy news story, he's not really going to get a good catalyst. There's a lot stronger things in crypto I think are worth paying attention to. If this guy recovers to the trigger I gave you at 701, he'll look a lot better there. But this entire churn is just building and building more volume. So I'd wait for him to get on top of all of it. And this is still the best trigger. Above this, he had legs to fly, and crypto would probably be pretty fucking bullish by the time he got here. So, all right, motherfuckers, that's it. Stay safe, bitches. Got you on the flip. Peace out. I have a trigger right here on
welcome to Winternomics TV, your stream.
Motherfucker, ran over time. But hopefully they're alright.